Hello and welcome to the Thursday show here on the Frontline Gaming Network. Brand new year. My name is Paul Murphy, your host. Adam is away doing some fun stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit as we get going in the episode. But I'm joined by Dustin Henshaw. Dustin, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you, and Happy New Year, everybody else here. Welcome to the Thursday show. I'm excited to be here again in this 2023.
Yep, Ted Priest Dicky in the background here. We got people that contribute to the show also in the background. I got the chat firing off. Look, if you're listening to us after the fact, this is a live show we do each and every Thursday. I apologize for us not being live last week. We're never going to let it happen again.
Nope.
Production is good. Some choice words there in the background, but hey, no holidays here on the Warhammer 40,000 meta. Again, a live show. We talk about what's coming up, the biggest and best tournaments over the course of the weekend. We're getting close to the LVO that explains a little bit about the show and what's going on right now. Maybe some things you see and things you don't see or whatever. But if you are joining us after the fact on the podcast aggregators, know that we do this live. We got a great community of chat folks. Some folks are already telling us what they got going on. Time to paint some ad mech. Saying hyped up to see how some Flash gets dominate the meta. There's a whole lot of stuff we could be talking about. We're going to be talking about 3 big tournaments coming up over the course of this weekend. But before we do that, I want to give a special shout out to some folks in Sweden. They're in Bohus, Sweden. The Göteborg Grudge Battle. This is a battle they do each and every year. 6 teams, 6 different clubs come together at the beginning of every year for a 1750 event where they slug it out to see which is going to be the best club in Sweden. And I love that.
That's amazing. I love when any kind of community anywhere does this. Like, I feel like every community should have this kind of grudge battle every 3 months, like every quarter. They should do that. I think this is a great way to bring the community together. Just get some of the top players and some of the fluffy players and just like getting together to play this game. I think it's a great way to get the community rolling in your local area.
It's awesome. Something people can look forward to. That what are the stakes on the line? Very little, but how much fun? Extremely high.
All the fun is to be had.
Love it. If there's any other things like that happening out there in the world, if you have some friendly rivalries with a neighboring club or whatever, please let us know. I've had the same thing. We used to actually back in the day had club battles. And I say back in the day, I'm talking eons ago. Now and but there was a club. 2 counties over that we would had a friendly rivalry with, always competing with hobby and battle and that kind of stuff. And anyway, it's fun to see that kind of thing happen in other communities. Again, it reminds us of how similar we are.
Exactly.
No matter where we are playing in the world.
We have our full Ontario League. The entire province gets together for a league, and then we for every division, like a couple cities get together that are close enough that they can get together for their games. And then at the end of the season, we get all the winners together for Big GT and find out who's the best in the province. Like every twice a year, basically.
On the screen now, we got Where in the World is Joe? War Games Live puts on a great show of streaming tournaments, like bringing you content. Some of the top players, top tables, sometimes cool matches. Check him out if you haven't already. Looks like he's going to be in the Topeka Open, the 40K Grand Tournament. Familiarize yourself with his content. It is awesome. You should check him out. Do yourself a favor. If you got something to do, you doing some hobbying this weekend, put on some 40K in the background. You got to listen to us. You got to watch Joe. You got to listen to some of the other stuff that we do. Stutter Scrub, FTN, all the other shows on the Frontline Gaming Network.
You guys are spoiled nowadays with all the great content you have out there when you're doing 40K. Like, it's amazing. I remember in my day, we had maybe 4 shows at best, and 3 of them didn't know what they were talking about.
Look, that's part of the fun too.
Exactly. I love.
You definitely want to argue and talk back to the folks on the radio.
Oh, of course. That's half the fun, like you said.
As I mentioned, this is on the Frontline Gaming Network, and there are lots of other shows to check out. If you, I've only listened to this one, only heard of this one. Check out some of the other stuff. They put out content 4 or 5 days a week. It's good stuff. There'll be links. Check it out. Anyway, let's get into the media show. I've kind of droned on a little bit too much. We're going to be talking about, the first one we're going to talk about is the Glass City GT in Toledo, Ohio. 72 players, 5-round event. I believe this is a storied and venerable event. This is not their first time they've done this.
Do you have a story behind it? Do you know the story?
Oh no, I just know that it's gone on for a long time, and it's a very competitive region and stuff. And so, if you're new, just joining us to the show, we're going to run down the factions that are going to be represented there from the players that are in attendance, and then we'll talk about some of the top players in the ITC, or just some fun lists that we picked out towards the end of this particular segment here. And why it's important talking about some of the top players of the ITC is that ITC season is coming to a close. Going to be like, people are going to be slugging it out for not only top of the charts, but also top in their faction
Hmm.
for the ITC season. Going to be rounding it out at the LVO. So, again, very important. A lot of players. We might see some players playing some things that maybe we thought that they had, put aside. We might see some interesting meta choices. Going to be curious to see how that factors in to what is present at the tournaments that we have highlighted here. But Dustin, tell us what we're going to see there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to be seeing in the Imperial Spirit faction. There are 0 Sisters of Battle. I had to call that out specifically because that's actually kind of crazy. 2 Custodes, 4 Astra Militarum, 2 Grey Knights, and 2 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 1 Dark Angel, 4 Space Wolves, 1 Salamander, 1 Black Templar, 2 Iron Hands. Chaos, there's 3 Chaos Space Marines, which is 1 Black Legion, and 2 What is that? IWL? What the heck did you put, Adam? What is IW? Chat.
Iron
Iron
Warriors.
Warriors.
That's
Thank
one
you.
Black Legion and 2 Iron Warriors.
What? That's why I wouldn't have known it. Because how many people play Iron Warriors?
Look, hey, I'm willing to bet
A lot
we're
more
going to
now.
see
You know
more
what? Yeah,
soon.
a
So,
lot
and
more
I do
now.
want to point out that this is like, we know there's been a lot of changes and things announced over the last couple of days, and there's going to be things coming into effect later. Those are not going to be present in the events that we're talking about. So,
Right.
understand that we are describing what is, a snapshot in time of what is happening this weekend, and maybe what you'll see kind of lean towards the LVO, depending on
Mhm.
how they land with what they allow for that. But this is not reflective of the news, so it actually is kind of interesting to see 2 Iron Warriors come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Like you said, I think it actually will start going that way with the change we have seen. So it makes sense for people to start trying them out now, get used to them. Anyway, back to the Chaos Super Perfection. There's 2 T-Suns, 2 Death Guard, 9 Demons, and 2 Renegade Knights. Xenos, there's 2 Necrons, 3 Orcs, 8 Tau, and 9 Votan. Whoa, Votan coming out of nowhere now.
Oh, and Votan Hobby Lag has been
Hobby Leg,
eliminated.
yeah, it's eliminated now. All of them are out there. All these squats are. I'm sorry, Votan. No, they're squats.
People finally they got their 2 Sagittars. I know people have been held onto one, waiting on that second one. I wonder about the product is shaken out, or they borrowed. I got the appropriate number of berserkers, or take advantage of all those pioneers and stuff there.
Exactly.
But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I'm curious to see how they shake out now too. Hive Mind, there's 4 Tyranids. Where are you, GSC players? Come on, guys. Come on. They're gonna start showing up soon. They should. Eldari, there's 1 Harlequin, 3 Suriani, and 2 Yanari, which means that the faction podium is Votan and Demons topping it off with a tie at 9, Tau in second with 8, and then Space Wolves, Guard, and Nids in third with 4 each. And then the rest of it's kind of an even spread, a couple 3s, couple 2s. That's actually a cool spread. The Votan and Demons topping off, that's scary to me.
I believe the TO is actually in the chat right now, so let us know if you are using the new Astra Militarum book there, if you've allowed it, or if that's
Right.
old guard that are maybe trying to get a last hurrah with those indirect fire weapons or something.
Mhm.
They're wanting to take advantage of it. So please. Oh, by the way, when we talk about active chat, sometimes we do get the players from the event, organizers of the event, that are in the chat participating. And if you are playing or going to any of the tournaments that we do talk about, and you feel like throwing your list in the chat, being bold, let people know what you're taking. Please do it that way. Again, I'm only pointing this out because folks are listening after the fact. They may
Of
not know
course.
that we do this, so it's worth coming and checking
It's
out
all
if you can.
live.
If you got
It's all
time,
live.
9 p.m. Thursday Eastern.
There it is. Snigs. Oh, there's so many people talking now. Snigs 2874. You did mention if you are using that slate. Do we actually have to look at new book, no data slate? Okay, so you are using the new book. Interesting. All right, so new guard are in play at this.
So no proxies for
So
things
no
like
proxies,
Thorns
yeah,
or
no
whatever.
proxies,
That's
okay.
a cool choice. I mean, look,
Yeah, that's a great choice.
I think tournament organizers are very much empowered to do what they
for sure.
want that is going to be fun for their players, and that stuff gets published so people know what to expect. So I guess that explains why we see guard creeping on. Is Tau a surprise to you?
I've always thought the Tau are a lot better than a lot of people think and give them credit for. Tau are honestly, even with some of the changes to the Flyers, I think they're about to get a bit of a glow up only because the way that people are going to start playing Tau, I feel is leaning more towards how they should be played, if that makes sense. With the Riptides, yeah, the Planes, they probably get removed from some lists because some people don't like not having the first turn strike. But honestly, a lot of them end up getting reserve turn when anyway, so they'll get blown off the board. So I don't think it's a huge hit for them in that. I think they're still going to be included in a lot of the Tau lists. And Crisis Suits, Riptides, Hammerheads, they're all still juicy. Like I, what's the only thing that went up with it? I think the Commanders went up a little bit, and that was it.
To me, Demon's not a surprise, with the variation in the list. We know the Bloodthirster is incredibly dominant. We know Be'lakor makes his way into a lot of lists. We know Flamers are a choice unit and will continue to be a choice unit. I think even after the the change that we have coming up, and then Votann, I actually am surprised to see 9 Votann players. We'll have 72 players, 9 of them. That means what is it? 12, 13%.
Roughly, yeah.
20% are between Demons and Votann. That is a surprise to me.
That is actually pretty big, like in terms of the percentage-wise, the representation. Demons have always been a good, well-represented faction. Well, not always, but
a lot of players have them too. As well.
A lot of players do have them.
Exactly. If you've been a Demon fan, you have this army from ages past, and so it's kind of easy for you to get current with whatever the shift is.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I think the Demon window might actually be coming up. Like I feel like it's coming up with a lot of the changes to other factions that are inadvertently making Demons better. And while yes, the Flamer to the nerfs is a nerf, it's not taking them out of contention at all.
At all. We'll see in a couple of weeks, if that actually does impact what people are taking. But our prediction is that it does not. That it is a pure tweak to balance.
If this change makes you take the Flamers out of your list, you're silly. That's all. That's all I gotta say to that.
So with the Votann, I don't know if we have a Votann list to highlight, but it would be real interesting to see how they've chosen to approach this. But let's jump into what we're going to see there. Because again, we've highlighted some of the top players here in the U.S. in the Midwest specifically. You want to tell us who's playing what we're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have top players in attendance here that Adam decided to pick out since he is such a gentleman. He still filled out all the top players for us.
Adam's here in spirit.
He's here in spirit for sure. So we have Brenton Weiss, the 4th in the U.S. Midwest Tau Empire, which is
long-time Tau player,
great player. Yeah, for sure. So definitely going to be top on the list, I think, here. So Patrol, he's got Cold Star Commander, Long Strike, 2x10 Crew, 2x4 Crew Hounds, 5 Crisis Suits with 2 Shield Drones, 6 Vespid, 2 Riptides, 2 Sunshark Bombers, and the Supreme Command with a Shadow Sun.
I'm laughing at the Vespid, but I think we all kind of recognize that the Vespid are an underutilized unit.
Who here knows why there's a 6-man Vespid squad in this list? R&D, anybody?
Yeah. R&D? What?
R&D?
What is it? The aerial space ratings or whatever?
They can use it for that one too, but the only problem with them is that they don't complete it at the end of the turn, so they have to survive. But there's like, if you can get blocked off, they can be used. They're just, because they're infantry, they can be utilized for a lot because they're fast, right? And their gun's not bad.
No.
It's really not bad.
AP 3 or something or whatever. It's I can't remember exactly, but it is. It's very strong.
It's like strength 5, AP 3, 1 shot, 1 damage, something like that.
I believe they are an underutilized unit. No lie, no hyperbole there, no exaggeration. I think there is there's kind of some stigma of the unit because for now a decade they have not been very efficient. But I think there's a place for them. But it's also in a Dataslate rich book, so I can I'm not, I can kind of understand why players are opting for other units as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like he took Long Strike and beefing up the 1 Crisis squad instead of splitting out into 2 Crisis. So it was going heavier into the 1 Crisis squad, which I like. I think this is actually, I like this list. I mean, with the 2 Riptides, the 2 Sunshark Bombers, 1 big Crisis unit, and then 2 Commanders, like with Shadow Sun and Cold Star, and then Long Strike for any big knights that might come up that he wants to pop. Solid list. That has everything he needs to deal with everything. 6 Vespids and then a bunch of crew to contest objectives, move block if you need to.
This is very similar to what we've seen him play earlier in the year, which is different than, say like Andrew Gagno's take on the list that has a lot more Riptides kind of, moved in favor. It's just kind of a split between the old what would have been a ton of Crisis,
Right.
and then in the new thing, which is now a couple of Riptides, but also still has the bombers.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we have Daniel Sansone. 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 Thank you. Got there. Nailed it. 6th in the U.S. Midwest with Necrons, Expansionist Conquerors, which will not be a thing very soon.
We got to deal with it now. We're very much in the now.
So he's got an Outrider with Chronomancer. Ooh, he's got the Void Dragon, 6 Scorpex, 3x3 Scarabs, 6 Ophidians, 3 Tomb Blades, 6 Locusts, and then a patrol with Transient the Infinite, 5 Immortals, 6 more Scorpex, another Transcendent, and an Auxiliary with another Transcendent. He's doing triple Satan, making one of them Void Dragon, and then sprinkle in some Destroyers, some Scarabs for Obsec, and Tomb Blades for, well, so many things. I think Tomb Blades are an underutilized unit. That's what I think.
Daniel's a great player. I've been able to see him play in the past and stuff, and this take on the Necron list, I tell you, it's kind of got me scratching my head a little bit. But it's hard for me to really shed doubt on it because I know the quality of the player.
Yeah, when you know the player and they know their play style and just what they like to play, it's hard to say, "Hey, I don't think this list will work," but he knows what he's doing. And Triple Satan was a very meta list for a while. It was a very strong list. It hasn't gotten weaker. Just a lot of people have moved away from it because of the mass obsec and the way that they score their secondaries right now, and the Satans don't really add anything to that. But they themselves, they don't necessarily need to, because they will hit hard enough, and they're a pain to get rid of. So for any army that isn't prepared to one turn them, they are a pain.
Yeah, I mean, and also, what we've seen even when the double and triple Satan list was in there, people were going with like the Nightbringer to give the tricks for, the Deceiver for the tricks that he brings with that, and are opting, just for non-named Satan shards because there's a little bit of points premium on those. But here we got the Void Dragon, which, I mean, we've talked about that model, I think, once in the last year, maybe twice, but very infrequently. What do you think that's bringing to the table in this?
Well, he's there for another anti-tank, because that's what he's in there for. Anti-tank. I think he gets the bonus against monsters too, but it might only be vehicles. But he's there because he only has the Locust Destroyers are the best chance he has with the reroll wounds to kill the bigger things. He needs something else to be able to do that without having to rely on the strength 6 of the regular Satans. The Void Dragon does a lot more damage to vehicles, a lot more damage. He's more reliable in that sense. And he's still a Satan, so you don't have to worry about him getting picked off in one turn against most armies, right? So you can move him up, threaten any big thing you need to. If you're fighting a big knight, Void Dragon just flips it and then moves on to the next one.
Very nice. We talked about, knowing the player, and it's real easy for us to talk about what we think is just kind of the surface level strength of these lists when they come out. But in any list or any engagement, you can never count out the actual skill of the pilot and their ability to kind of forecast what they're going to need. So I think that's going to shine through with this particular list and the player. What's next?
Absolutely. We have Joshua Minich. I don't know how to pronounce it appropriately, so I
one of those has to be close.
One of those is going to be right. Mark my words for
close.
Sure. 7th in the U.S. Midwest, and he is going to be running Chaos Demons. We're going to see one of these massive Chaos Demons lists have been showing up here. So he's got a battalion with a Bloodthirster. I'm assuming he's got all the fixins in there. Fluxmaster, Transweaver, 10 Bloodletters, 10 Blue Horrors, 10 Demonettes, 3x5 Flamers, and then a patrol with another Bloodthirster, Scarbrand, and 10 Bloodletters. I heard he likes corn.
Triple Bloodthirsters. I don't hate this.
There we go. Thank you, chat, helping me out there. Joshua Minnick. There you go. I think I just said one of them.
I mean, that's a lot of aggression. You got Scarbrand in there for all the tricks that Scarbrand brings, and then the ability to, because people have to focus on the one Bloodthirster. So you're gonna get into combat.
Yeah, it's the only reason that a lot of people don't bring the second one is because the second one doesn't have the wound cap on it, so they can be taken down, and it's it hurts when you put that many points into a model. But because you have two other ones running in there with Scarbrand and another Bloodthirster with that wound cap, you can do a lot of work with them. If he gets into combat, he will kill whatever he fights, pretty much.
Nurgle Mad has gone to war with Nightbot.
Nurgle-Matt's got him. There's not,
Yeah,
Nightbot doesn't
look,
stand a chance. Like,
we talk about picking winners on this
yeah,
show.
there we go. We're picking a winner between Nightbot and Nurgle-Matthew. Nurgle-Matthew wins every time.
Yeah.
Double sixes.
I love this list. Demons, obviously a very strong choice. A lot of players have gone for demons in this. I think they can compete in any level. It is. I think you can pretty much say that each one of those demon lists has at least 10 flamers in it.
At least. If
I
you
guess
have
some
any less
reality
than
where
that,
it has 9. Let's say it has at least 3 units of flamers in it.
Oh, there might be some with 2x5, but
Fair enough. Well, okay,
so,
we'll go with at least 10 flamers. My pick to win this thing, and here, by the way, folks, if you just joined us, we either pick a player or a faction sometimes to see about what's going to take the event. I'm going to call demons.
oh, you beat me to it. I was going to say
You can still call demons. There's
Can
no
I?
dibs.
You
There's
do
no
the same thing?
dibs.
No dibs. All right, the demons for sure. I think demons actually have this too. It is. It's in a good place, and I'm looking at the field that this tournament has, and I think demons have a good matchup into pretty much everything here. Like, obviously not easy matchups, but they have play into everything, and there's nothing that makes me go, demons can't beat this.
Votann are kind of an unknown here. I will
They
say
are.
because we don't know exactly what sometimes it's easy to look at a codex and say that's the best list.
Yeah.
Those components, you take 2 of these, 1 of these, 3 of these, whatever, and then the rest is filling in what you want. But that's the best list.
Mhm.
That's not decided with Votann yet. I don't think the Votann are solved.
No, I think some of the units are almost auto includes. Like, I think every army of Votann should have at least 2 units of, if not 3 of bikes, at least 1 land fortress.
Yeah, maybe 2. I think you're right. It's like 3 units of pioneers, 2 land fortresses. That's where I would start.
And then a couple berserker squads, like 1 berserker squads for every transport you have. Basically.
I think in the Sagittars, right? So you get two Sagittars or whatever, and then you combat squad them, the fake way.
Yep.
Into those things, and then
and then obviously one call,
business done.
And that's your core right there. And then the rest of it's kind of all right. What do I like?
Yeah, but I have not seen that happen yet.
That's my list building dance for all of you that aren't actually watching this. You're missing out.
That's a thing. Yeah, it's but I guess I just haven't seen it happen yet. We haven't seen them put up numbers. Really on the tournament.
It's true. Yet. It's true. Like, people keep saying, "Oh, they're busted, they're broken," but they're not winning everything.
Yeah, somebody do it.
They have a good win rate, sure, but so did Harlequins. But they were actually winning stuff, and I don't know what it is. What do you think it is? Is it because they're just getting? Are they crushing mid tables and not quite getting like that last win that they need, or what is it?
I truly believe there's more to it than what's happening on the tabletop. There are some logistics and supply chains. Like I talk to players a lot. Like, I just got my second Sagittar. I mean, that's a real conversation that I had in chat with a buddy.
No lies here. Paul doesn't lie to you guys. You should know.
Well, I'm saying that's not that's not conjecture. That is the thing. I think that's something that there's and it's also the Army did just come out, during a season where people may not have as much hobby time as they want or whatever. I mean, again, there's all kind of reasons that I think that maybe it hasn't hit yet. But you're right. Maybe it is like people in their home games are already playing with proxies or whatever, or smashing every single opponent they come against.
Well, I mean, they're the only people that are going to still have Armor Contempt, or like their version of Armor Contempt left, mind you. Mind you, like a lot of them are 4-up save, but that's not the point. The point is they still have it, right? So it's something.
Yeah, we shall see. But again, we have not seen them put up numbers. If anybody feels like they've got what is the sweetest list, hit us with it, because I know a lot of folks would like to take advantage of that, because brand new Army people want to put those figures together. Yeah. Next event we're talking about is the Exterminatus 6.
The 6th or 6th?
Yeah. Exterminatus 6, Return to the Noodle, from Wagga Wagga, New South Wales, Australia.
I'm sorry, wait.
Return to the Noodle. Is it Return to the Noodle or the Wagga Wagga? Wagga Wagga, Return to the Noodle. Return to the Waddle.
Is Wagga Wagga actually
Noodle
where
Wagga.
Is that word? I'm so confused.
Exterminatus 6.
It's near London, yes.
It is approximately 9,500 miles from London.
I will actually be looking that up to see how accurate you are afterwards, because last time you nailed it. You were like within a couple miles. So that's
complete shot in the dark. 50 players, 5-round event.
we are going to be seeing in the Imperial Super faction, there's 2 Sisters of Battle, 2 Custodes, 4 Astra Militarum, 1 Grey Knight, and 3 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 1 Dark Angel, 1 Space Wolf, 1 Blood Angel, 2 Ultramarines, 1 Salamander, 1 Imperial Fist. Chaos, there's 5 Chaos Space Marines, which is 1 Black Legion, 2 Emperor's Children, 1 Iron Warriors, and 1, I got this, AL. Alpha Legion. Man, you guys bringing out all the different legions here. 3 T-Suns, 1 Death Guard, 4 Demons, and 5 Renegade Knights.
So, look, if you don't know Chaos, that's okay.
I'm a GSC tier 2 player, man. Ask me anything about that. It's Chaos stuff. I've never heard of it. They taste funny. 3 Necrons, 0 Tau. Oh, this would be a great event to attend. And 3 Votan. In the Hive Mind, there's 5 Tyranids and a G-Stealer co-op player. Yes. Wait, we're in Australia. Is it? Is it Eric? Eldari, 1 Drukari, and 1 Assyriani. Meaning the faction podium is CSM, Renegade Knights, and Nids tied at the top with 5. Demons and Guard in second with 4, and then Necrons, Votan, T-Suns, and Imperial Knights at 3. This is a phenomenal spread. No Tau. This might be the best spread I've ever seen in a tournament on this show. That is amazing. Mainly because there's no Tau.
All right. So with this, I guess anything surprising here that really jumps out?
Well, there's no real big numbers. We're talking of like percentage-wise because there's 50 players, right? The biggest ones, Chaos Space Marines, that's no surprise. They're pretty. Renegade Knights, actually. I think that's the biggest surprise out of all these, with topping it off with 5, because we usually see them about maybe a third representation of the Imperial Knights. Am I wrong on that? I think that's pretty much what we usually see. They're usually under Imperial Knights. Then in team events, you'll see Renegade Knights usually a little bit higher. But Renegade Knights being up there, I think, is actually a surprise. In a singles event, specifically. What do you think? There are 0 Harlequins, too.
Oh, that's interesting. And then I guess all the Tyranids.
Tyranids, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of is expected here.
Yeah, the Tyranids, the big Tyranid numbers is not really surprising. No Tau, no Harlequins. Those are 2 top armies that are not represented at all. This is actually like no Tau and no Harlequins. I kind of want to go to this tournament right now. Like I will fly to Australia.
You're not the only one. The chat is also like how long did it get there? With a quick little check though, it's 10,471 miles outside of London.
Oh my God, you were like 1,000 off. Not even. But just the 10,000.
I said 9,000, so that's it's pretty close. If you've gone the extra, you've gotten the 9,000. What's one more?
Exactly. Like at that point, you might as well just stay in the plane for another hour, right? Makes sense. No, that was good. Good job, Paul. You're great at that. You should just do that all the time.
That's right.
New carnival trick. At LVO, everybody can go up to Paul and ask him what the distance between any 2 places are, and he will tell you. But actually, no. London in any place. London in any place. It has to be London in any place in the world. He will tell you the distance.
So let's discuss the impact of no Tau and no Harlequins. Harlequins, as we know, what do they have? 54% win rate, 60% win rate, or whatever. Yeah. Tau, we know, incredibly dominant. What does that open the door for with the fact that they just aren't there at this event?
Ironically, no Harlequins would open the door for Tau. Because Tau sometimes struggle into that like mass -1 and mass invulns, right? But Tau not there either. You have 2 of arguably the best shooting armies in the game that aren't represented at all. So, you know who I'm surprised we're not seeing here? If Bile was here, it would be.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah.
It would be terrifying. But because there's no Bile, I'm looking at that 1 Blood Angel list there, the Space Marines. That's actually, you know what? The Knights are in a really good spot in this too.
That's a good. Yeah, I think that's actually it. The Knights here. The Knights are probably what stand to take advantage of that the most because a complete absence of Haywire and a complete absence of rail cannons.
Yeah, no fusion from those ones, and no Haywire, and no rail guns, no ion cannons. Like this is ion cannons. The ion accelerator. Yep. I do know Tau because I hate them.
Let's actually jump down to what we're going to see there with some of the players here. And Josh McMillan, third. ITC ranked in the South Pacific. Adeptus Sororitas. Is that we haven't really talked about them? Have they been held down by potentially Tau and Harlequins?
It's true. They are actually in a much better spot in this too. Harlequins are really rough for them, and so are So are Tau, because it's the amount of shooting they can put out before they even get there. The other one they used to struggle with is Tyranids, but I think the new Tyranids builds aren't as scary for them. Like Kraken, they can deal with better than the old Leviathan spam list. So the sisters are in a good spot here too.
Well, what's he bringing?
He is going to be bringing, looks like a single battalion, a Canoness, Missionary, Morven Val, 2x5 Battle Sisters, 10 Novitiates, 2x9 Sacristans, a Dogmata, a Hospitaller, 8, 6, and 4 Repentia, 8, 8, 5 Zephyrim, 2x5 Retributors, and 2 Rhinos. And I'm assuming they still have AOC in this too, right? Armor
I have to. Yeah,
they have to. So they're actually at a really good spot in this this spread. I think this opens up the door for the sisters a lot. Those 2 sisters players are in good spots.
That's good. When we come time to pick a winner, it's going to be difficult to pick.
It will be,
which seeing this list highlighted actually reminded me. That's how kind of buried deep in those mid tables. The Adeptus Sororitas have been recently, but a couple of those factions not being there, if they can get through the Tyranids, which I think they can, right?
Oh, they absolutely can.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that they can. I was that's just one of the few that they kind of struggle with, and it was more the Leviathan build. Tyranids are still rough for them just because Kraken is fast and they can kill them pretty easily, but I think they're in good shape to be able to fight that too.
Yeah, okay. Well, is it a way to go, Exterminatus?
Yeah,
here,
really.
It's a pretty lively meta here. We know it's 50 players, but this is really going to be kind of a lot of competition in those final rounds.
Yeah, if it's being streamed, I would watch this one for sure, because there are going to be some really good games in this one. All right, next up we have Chris Wright, 2022 WTC Team Australia, 6th player in the South Pacific right now, playing Astra Militarum with Armored Superiority and Swift as the Wind. I'm not 100% sure what the Swift as the Wind is.
Chat, let us know.
That must be New Guard. If you guys know what those ones are, and for New Guard, let us know. Armored Superiority and Swift as the Wind. It is a single battalion with a military Tempestus command squad, 2 Executioner tank commanders, 3x10 Acadian infantry squads, 10 Casterkin. Okay, so it's definitely the new book. 3x10 military Tempestus scions, 3 armored sentinels, 2 and 1 scout sentinels, 3 Lehman Russ executioners, and a Torox.
Swift as the Wind, add 1 to the move characteristic of infantry and artillery models with this doctrine, and add 2 inches to the move characteristic of all other models in the with this doctrine. Add 1 to the charge rolled base for unit with this doctrine.
Nice. And the armored superiority counts as 5, I believe.
Armored superiority has gained the armored superiority keyword. Sentinel models with this doctrine count as 3 models. Titanic count as 10, and all vehicle models in this doctrine count as 5.
I simplified it. Steve said it too. Thanks, buddy.
I was going to give it to you, but I looked over there. There were 5 bullet points. I'm like, I should
probably. Yeah. I was close. I had it at the right.
You did. You knew exactly what was up. Just need a little bit of spurt on.
Specify. Yeah, exactly. No, this is really. Lehman Russ is in the New Guard Codex, specifically the Plasma Executioners, are scary.
Yeah, they've kind
of assuming
they were awesome for a long time, by the way. Back in the day, and it's kind of cool they've come back up for anybody that's had them in their collection for a bit.
Hopefully not too many of you guys clip those Plasma Executioners off, because you want them back now.
Well, I mean, look at this though. They've got 5 in this list.
That it's true, because he's got the two commanders and then the 3 actual Russes themselves. Huh. Yeah. That's a lot of tank.
That is a lot of much damage.
That's much damage.
It is. And look at this with the Sentinels. There's a whole lot of forward deployment. I mean, I have not fully crystallized the list. I'm a guard player as well, so I take Astra Militarum, and I have not fully kind of crystallized the list. But I kind of foresee almost like all these bubbles surrounding the tanks, and making people have to come towards them, and they might not be able to do it.
No, and I think people underestimate how annoying those Sentinels are to remove. Like, for their points, they take a lot to get rid of. Like, a lot. They're a pain to get rid of, especially now they're counting as multiple models. Like, oh, that's just a nightmare. Then they got the Torox that could kind of switch in with some Tempestus Scions.
Yeah, got a question in the chat. Why the Torox? Torox is actually pretty inexpensive, and then if you have this. So the armored superiority, so that Torox counts as a fair number of models.
Yep.
When it is trying to control objectives, and so his idea is score some points, make you have to work to get the points back, while he's annihilating you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th Executioner tanks.
Yeah, exactly. So it gives them a little more durability, mobility. But I'm sure like one of the Scions probably have like an upgrade that will give it something cool be in there too. Like maybe move and then move, get out of it and move like after it moves. It's
I love
pretty
that optimism.
right. I'm always optimistic.
But
Everybody we feature on the show always knows what they're doing.
yeah, and really also is that these vehicles, these kind of collections of stats, they're competing. Your opponent only has so many weapons that can actually
Yeah,
play well into those types of things, and so any confusion that he can give you between the Sentinels, I mean, he's got like 6 Sentinels here,
yep.
that are. I mean, granted, you can kill them in bolters, but you might be tempted to shoot a missile
You
launcher at him,
can,
and
but it's not as easy as it
and
seems.
and that's right where he wants you to be, is
Hmm.
making those decisions and potentially buying his larger, better things another turn. And
Yep.
you know, well, I think we will see a lot of guard players moving towards more things with toughness 6 or better, lots of wounds are better, um, and just using the troops as almost distractions or just a little bit of point
Yeah.
scorers.
Absolutely. You'll see a lot of Rough Riders. A lot of Rough Riders I've seen being used with the Guard Codex. Mostly when you don't, it's because you don't have them. This is what I
I
found.
think they're probably using the same thing here. Is that now? Granted, the Rough Riders have been around for a long time, but
Yeah.
there has been years and years and years that those models have not been in
Yeah.
circulation for people's to get, and so they're probably doing the same thing. Like, you have
I've
no
got
proxies,
45.
use what you got, play what you got. Yeah. Hey man, you're ready. You're
I'm
ready
ready.
for this.
I'm ready for
This
this.
guard mode.
I had my Brute Brothers ready for a long time, you know?
What's the next event? Our next person.
The next person we have Hayden Ford, 8 in the South Pacific. Specifically the South Pacific. Custodes, Emperor's Chosen. Ooh, we got a Custodes listed here. So he's got a Shield Captain in Alaris, 3 Achilles Dreads, 3 Venerable Dreads, a Caladius, and then a patrol with an Inquisitor and Trajan.
There's more
Wait.
to it.
Oh, I was going to say that's not a patrol.
I mean,
That's
look,
not a list.
while that is probably a solid 1,500 points.
It's true. It probably is. And then 5 prosecutors, 2x1 Alaris, and 3 Virtus Praetors. That's what I was waiting for. This is well, it's obviously dread heavy, but
I
it's
love
actually
it.
I love this list.
I love you can carry this in a small box.
Oh, that's the best part of these kind of like fun
You don't
custodes.
by the end of the fourth round, your back's not killing you or whatever.
Yeah, you're already winning at that point.
I love lists like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a good one. I'm custodes. There's not much to talk about with them. Like the 6 dreads, we know what they do.
Well,
Like,
this is. I wonder if anyone knows in the chat any history on the players. Is this a Custodes player from? Are they trying to shore up some faction points here? Are they like what is it?
good
Because
point.
remember what I talked about. It's not just about necessarily winning this particular event. It is also coming towards the end of the ITC season. You can actually go to the
Mm-hmm.
Frontline Gaming website and check out all the rankings for people, factions, and regions and stuff. This is people are going to be playing for those types of points. I wonder if this is one of those choices.
It might be. That's actually a good point. It's something to remember too, because we're so close to the end of the season. If any of these guys are going to the LVO or going for best in faction, this is where they get their last bit of points to try to take over those last guys. Because if you're sitting at your max points, or even if you're missing a tournament or two, like this is a big time to get your points for your faction. Try to get that best in faction award.
I no kidding though. I legitimately like all these dreads, and I tell you why. It's
Mm.
like we've seen there's a lot of mortal wounds out there. Custodians are actually pretty good at shrugging off mortal wounds, and there's
Yep.
just a lot of just trash fire.
Yep.
Like just small arms shots. There's a whole bunch of that volume of fire type stuff, which typically doesn't have a whole lot of punch power. Um,
Hmm.
and so a lot of reasons, of course, what people are choosing to bring and stuff. But in the Custodes blank that really well.
It's true, and I feel like dreads have been, while a lot of people find them boring to play as a custodes, I think they're one of the best ways to play them. They're just so durable. Like you just march them up the board, sit on objectives. If you want to get aggressive with them, you can. If it's an army, you can do that with, and they can do close combat. They can do shooting. They just do everything, and they're durable. They are so
Mm.
big of a pain to remove. Plus, you have the predators flying around the board, doing some mobility where you need it. Trajan is just point for point, still one of the best characters in the game. And it's just a solid list all around. The 2x1 Alaris are a pain too because they can actually do a lot for you.
I was on the fence with Trajan for a long time. It's like,
Really?
yeah, not with efficiency of the points because you cannot argue that like what he was doing. But I was like,
Yeah.
do I like this named character? He's like, because there's so much you can do, and decide in Warhammer 40,000. Until I painted one and it came out really well. I'm like, I got to figure out a way to get this
Oh,
guy on
yeah.
the table.
That's always the way it happens. If you paint one and it ends up really like looking good, then he's in my list. That doesn't matter if he's garbage. He's always in my list. He's just so cool.
Oh, so what's winning this? I mean, again, with the fact that there's some notable, I don't say gaps, but openings in what we might consider the faction pool, and we've kind of circled around what that might open the door for. What do you think is winning?
Man, it depends on like terrain and stuff too, but I'm like it's between Sisters and Blood Angels for me.
Man, got me conflicted now.
Yeah, see, Demons actually have a good run in this too, though. Like with no Tau and no Harlequins, it opens up the field to some of these that normally struggle into those armies, right?
Indeed.
I'm gonna go with Sisters, but I think Sisters actually have
Sisters. As much as you mentioned Blood Angels, and it makes me want to pick it. I'm going to go with Knights.
Knights. Yep.
We might even see a Sisters and a Knights showdown.
Yeah.
In the finals.
Yep. That's one of the few things that the Sisters have a little bit more trouble into is the Knights, for sure. I assume that because we're in Australia and they're very WTC heavy, I feel like it's going to be WTC terrain.
Okay, good point.
Sisters have a benefit against Knights in that terrain. So
good knowing that. That's awesome. Let's take a quick break for a little bit of station identification. Word from our sponsor. And then we'll come back. After the break, we're going to run down one more event, and then we have a special segment we call the Fuego Rapido, which is like a little palate cleanser that rarely has anything to do with Warhammer 40,000. Just going to preface that right now. But after we talk about all the hard stats and the theories and whatever, it's a nice way to kind of just chill with us at the end. You don't want to miss it. But again, we got a break, one more event, and then that segment. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
See you soon.
At Frontline Gaming, we make the best tabletop gaming mats in the universe. Our mats are durable, rollable, foldable, wipeable, and storable. Oh, and they look damn great too. Join the thousands of tournament regulars and garage gamers who use our mats to bring their gaming surfaces to life. To ensure quality, Frontline Gaming mats are custom made one at a time, printed with high quality ink. Our immersive designs stay crisp and are available in a wide range of styles and sizes. So whether you're playing a war game or a skirmish game, whether you're fighting over an alien tundra, fantastical forest, or real-world setting, there's a great-looking battlefield for you. Our gaming mats are printed on extremely durable neoprene backing, so they won't slide around the table, and they're thick enough to stay flat, protecting what's underneath and allowing for slight uneven surfaces. We know from experience that an easily portable gaming surface is just better. Every mat comes with a sturdy nylon zip-up bag for storage and transportation. Whether your next battle is in your home or at the local game store, you'll be able to unroll your FLG mat and get gaming right away. Our products are all made and tested by passionate gamers at Frontline Gaming HQ right here in the USA. It's time to take your battlefield to a new level. Frontline Gaming, champions of tabletop.
I'm sad.
Everybody, we are back. Thanks for checking out our
Production
sponsors.
just impressed me.
Please don't forget to leave us some 5-star reviews, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Even the comments after the fact on YouTube do a whole lot to kind of like, just kind of jazzing up the algos a bit, just so other people may discover us as well and come and hang out with us. It's all about just hanging out, talking, chatting.
Every Thursday, we have a great chat community, guys. So come hang out with us, chat with us. We do respond to you, as you can tell. We talk to people. We talk. To
I
you,
love it.
Which is that's part of the thing that makes the show great.
Yeah, and so, but in those things, it's like with the comments and then the hitting the bells and even the reviews in like iTunes and that kind of stuff matters so much because it's kind of signaling out to other people that they might also enjoy the content, and it means a lot to us for y'all to do that. Thank y'all, and of course the comments that we get during the live part, as well, it keeps going. The chats is just as much part of the show as we are. Helps keeps us honest. How many times have we been fishing for rules and be like, oh, there it is. Thank you.
Literally every episode at least 2 or 3 times. Hey, you guys are quick. It's great.
The next tournament we're going to talk about a Grimdark New Year in Valdosta, Georgia. Georgia is my home state. As a matter of fact,
Ooh.
Valdosta is like a long way away. Georgia is a very
Oh.
long state. Like people sometimes like, can't you just hop, skip, and a jump? No, it's like 2.5 hours away.
Oh, it's not that bad. I thought you were going to say like 6 hours or something, like me to Ottawa.
But it is a very active community in and around that area. 50 players, 5-round event. This seem to be a couple of those, just kind of easing us into this new year as we get ready to close out this ITC season.
Yeah, for sure. I think Paul should actually take the 2.5-hour drive to go attend this event too.
Let's go hang out.
Let's go hang out, yeah. So the Imperial Super Faction, there are 2 Sisters of Battle, 1 Custode, 3 Astra Militarum, and 1 Imperial Knight. Space Marines, there's 1 Blood Angel, 1 Ultramarine, 3 Black Templars, and 1 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 6 Chaos Space Marines. It's 3 Creations of Bile. There they are. They're all in Georgia here. 1 World Eaters, 1 Black Legion, and 1 Emperor's Children. Emperor's Children? Yes.
I'm glad you nailed those.
I got them. Every single one of them. I almost said chosen because we just talked about the Custodes, but I got it. 4 T-Suns, 2 Death Guard, 5 Demons, and 3 Renegade Knights. Xenos, there are no Necrons present, 3 Orcs, 2 Tau, and 4 Votan. Votan are really starting to show up a lot more. You're right with that hobby leg. It's over now. Oh, Hive Mind, 1 Tyranid, and 3 G-Cycle. I love Georgia. I love this. This is great.
Georgia has everything. We get all the
Georgia
seasons, all the factions.
They have everything but Necrons.
Yeah.
No Necrons. Eldari, there's 1 Drukhari, 1 Harlequin, 2 Assyriani, and 1 Ynnari, which means the faction podium is Chaos Space Marines at 5, Demons at 5, and then T-Suns and Votan at 4. And I don't know why I didn't put it here, but GSC's at 3, so they're right up there too. Like, come on.
Because that's not the podium. They're close, though.
It's close enough to a GSC.
If you were there, they'd be on the podium.
It's true. If I was there, maybe I should just show up. Like, it's 2.5 hours away from me too. I'll ship you my army. You go there.
It is not. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what we need.
It is not.
I couldn't find a rock grinder on a map. It's like
you couldn't identify a seismic cannon when I showed it to you.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Jeez.
So this again, I know it's going to be very competitive, and this is also Demons here in the faction. So Demons have been on the podium, I think, in every single one of the events, but a large percentage of every tournament we've talked about, and not just the ones we talked about. I'm willing to bet they are an equal percentage of every tournament happening, and that will be happening over the next 6 weeks. So if you need a demon plant,
yeah. It is definitely one of those gatekeeper armies. And I say gatekeeper, when I say gatekeeper, I mean not necessarily that it's not going to win anything, but it's a list or an army that is so prevalent in all the meta right now that you have to have a plan for, because it has specific things that you need to be ready to deal with. That if you can't deal with it, you're going to get rocked. You're going to get walked over, because they will walk over you if you're not ready for them.
In every meta, and I know that word means different things to different people, but since the dawn of time, since we started coming together and playing in what is somewhat organized play, there will always be like some prevalent or dominant list. And those two things can be different meanings. Could be prevalent, just to be a lot of them because people enjoy playing them. Could be dominant, or whatever. And you have to have a plan for them. Like, you have to know that you're going to encounter them. There's a high likelihood that you're going to encounter them through your path to victory if you're planning to. You don't even plan to win all 3 games. Remember, some of those, like, let's say when Necrons were scoring 100 points apiece, and all the Necron players win, then the Necron players play each other. Then half of them move on to the next bracket, half of them move into your bracket. So you still got to have a plan for that. So don't get caught out in the open wanting to know what the Warp Storm table does. Or the Warp Storm chart does.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of games where they have to explain the Warp Storm charge to people.
Well, ask your opponent too.
If
you don't have resources or the book or whatever, a player that you can interact with or ask, have that discussion with your opponent at the table. Incredibly, incredibly important. As you can see, they're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, and it's never you never even feel bad about that. If you watch some of the streams, you'll see like Art of War guys. They'll go up and ask, "Oh, what does this do?" Nobody knows everything in this game. Never feel bad about asking those questions. Like, it's important to do that, and your opponent should and always will just be happy to tell you, because we're playing the same game. It's a fun game together.
We should throw like a tournament preparedness segment into some.
That's a good idea.
Since we talk about these, and I will say that just being comfortable asking your opponent some questions that are relevant. That don't have them reveal their strategies. Like, if I did this, what would you do? That's not a good question.
Yeah.
asking them if they have a way to advance in charge is a great question. So,
Yeah, exactly. Actually, there's this great podcast called Stutter Scrub that actually covered that exact topic not too long ago in an
there we
episode.
go.
So
Look at that. It's out there. It's because
It's
it's
out
very
there.
important. It's
it
very
is
important.
for sure.
Sorry, I distracted us from our mission here.
No, of course not. That's part of our mission is to inform the public as well. So let's talk about the top players in attendance now, shall we?
Let's do it.
We have Seth Piper second in U.S. South with Adeptus Astartes, Black Templars.
Look at that. Talk about getting faction points.
Yeah, talk about it. There's 3 of them here. There's a lot of. So basically, all the creations of Bile and all of the Black Templars are in Georgia this weekend. That's what this stat is telling us. It is
I love it that Adam got to throw this in, by the way.
Of course,
So, he's a well-documented Black Templar fan. I'm sure he jumped at the chance to put Seth's list in here to get, and then, with the fact that it also checks off all the boxes, one of the top Black players in the region and Black Templar, no way this is not going in.
Yeah, it just fit everything. No wonder it's on the show. So it's a single battalion with Grimaldus, Halbrecht. There you go. Now it's Black Templars. You're having these 2 in the list, right? That just makes sense. An Emperor's Champion, 5 Assault Intercessors, 5 Infiltrators, 10 Primaris Crusaders, 5 Blade Guard, a Justiciar, Primaris Apothecary, 2 Redemptors, 5 Vanguard Veterans, and 3 Eradicators. That's interesting.
Okay,
Yeah,
I do like the fights last. I mean, it's kind of hard to get and hard for the Marine armies that want to take advantage of it to really effectively get it into their list. But I think Black Templars can do it better than any.
Yeah, no, it's actually, I think it auto included any Black Templars list too. So it's auto included as Grimaldus and Halbrecht. But that's I think so anyway. The Crusaders are also a good add too. I love they have a lot of value in Black Templar.
Oh, the Crusaders. Why do you say that? Because they're just 10 bodies.
10 bodies that hit like trucks. Well, they're one of their horde clears, I think.
Okay.
They're because they're costed really well too. I think anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're Black Templar player, but I think the Crusaders are actually costed probably as their best troops cost wise. Not
just point to efficiency wise.
Point to efficiency wise. I think they're the best troop they have. Infiltrators, on the other hand, very important to have, especially in the meta right now. And Assault Intercessors they're just all around good to take. But I think he also agrees with the Primaris Crusaders. That's why he has them. Because we've seen a lot of Black Templar lists on here, and I don't usually see them take the Crusaders, which is interesting.
All right.
I feel like they're good. Blade Guard, that's pretty self-explanatory. Same with
I love the Blade Guard. Well. I think there's such a especially if the event is using something similar to the Games Workshop Open Series terrain, the Blade Guard in the center of the table can just be such a linchpin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Now, do Black Templar have anything to help the Eradicators, or are they just in there to make sure that he has some anti-tank, anti-big thing?
They have to. I mean, I think that like Halbrecht does everything. I mean,
that's fair. Yeah.
So, I mean, this whole list is walking forward. There's nothing on this list that is not walking forward.
No Terminators either. We usually see at least like one Terminator squad, which is interesting too.
Yeah, so everything's going to be kind of tightened up around each other, and then kind of spiraling out, and
for sure,
layers of buffs on buffs with all the things, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's a good spread of units in this list. I like it. Next up, we have Daniel Hester's third in U.S. South with Leagues of Votan, Emir, the Glom, as Adam likes to call it. It is a single battalion, and let's see how much of what we were right before we said what the standard of a Votan list would be. So we got a Forge Master, which makes sense with Land Fortresses and being the Glom. He's got an Einhard Champion and a High Call. There's the call that we called. Oh, that was bad. 3x10 Earthkin Warriors.
Trapped in your own pun nightmare.
Trapped in my own pun. That was bad, man. I was trapped in my own pun. 7 Hearthguard, and this used to be instead of the Berserkers, which actually someone in the chat mentioned, which was a good call, that Hearthguard are going to be replacing Berserkers because they went up again. 2x6 Pioneers. There it is, and there's the Hecaton Land Fortress. I think we basically nailed what the core of the Votan is right now.
The Pioneers in the Land Fortress.
The Pioneers
and
Land
you sprinkle
Fortress.
in whatever you want. Yep.
Yeah. And the High Call. You need the High Call. That's
100%. And I wouldn't even I wouldn't mind seeing, or would have expected to see even more Pioneers in here, but obviously made some choices.
Yeah, maybe. 2x6 is a lot of Pioneers, but I definitely agree. I think 3 units of Pioneers is the way, especially because they're OBSEC, right? Like that's a fast OBSEC. It's the reason you see most of Votan not take a battalion, so they don't have to put points into the Hearthkin Warriors. Not that they're bad; they just have better options, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
Next up, we have Mark Perry, the one-man piano mover.
That's the truth.
You know what? Have you seen him? Yeah, for sure. He's got the guns for it. Come and watch.
I love his
gun
list
show.
too. His lists are always like, sometimes it's just
They're
you just look
great.
at him and go like,
I-
what is happening?
Yeah, I like his orc lists are the top level orc list for sure, and he's bringing them again. Blood axes. How many of you have been seeing blood axes lately? These are usually goths that you're seeing right now. Here we
Snake
go.
bites, you know,
Here
that
we
kind of
go.
stuff. It's
Mark Perry with the goths switch up to blood axes. He's got a battalion with 2 big mechs with shock attack guns. Oh, I haven't seen those in a little while. War Boss and Mega Armor, 3x10 Gretchen, 3x10 Commandos, 9 Mega Knobs. He loves his Mega Knobs. 2 Battle Wagons, 3 Death Dreads, and then another patrol with another big mech with a shock attack gun.
so
a War Boss
interesting.
on a War Bike, 10 Gretchen, and 2x5 Burner Boys. The Burner Boys we've been seeing a lot more of lately.
Yep.
We've mentioned it before because Flamers been coming back, and orcs are like, we got Flamers.
Yeah, we got Flamer. We've had Flamers this whole time.
You know what? You know what's good with Blissisco 5? Flamers.
Yeah,
You don't have to
auto
roll
hitting.
that.
Yeah.
Auto hitting is good. Like I said, he loves his Mega Knobs. One big unit of Mega Knobs. That's interesting. They can fit in the battle wagon.
Yeah, I was about to say there's
Yeah.
there's 2 battle wagons here, which gives him a lot of flexibility.
Yeah. It's just scary if that battle wagon goes down. Because
But when is it not like scary with the battle wagon?
when you have when you put like a unit of boys or Gretchen or Commandos or something in with them, so they can take.
Well,
on the
sure,
hit.
meaning, but you are definitely telegraphing to your opponent. You should shoot this first. You
Oh,
will
of
shoot
course.
this first.
Absolutely.
And that's what's going to happen. So but sometimes they just don't kill it. So put everything in
Yep.
there. Do your thing. I'm more surprised by the 3 shock attack guns. What does a shock attack gun even do, and why are there 3 of them in this list?
I don't even know what they do anymore. I know what they used to do when they were like taken everywhere. I'm not even sure what they do now though. But they used to be the best gun in the York Codex, right? Like they were devastating.
Yes, I mean like an edition and a half ago. That is for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen them in forever too. And why Blood Axes for that too? Because they want to stay back and they want to get the benefit of the cover. The Blood Axes get the cover, right? Yeah, they get the cover if you're outside of 12. Sure they do. But that's it. I love the shock attack guns. I love the actual shooting ability that this is bringing to this list. And they still got the 2 war bosses. One of them Mega Armor, one of them on a War Bike. So the Mega Armor one would probably be with the Mega Knobs in the Battle Wagon because I'm pretty sure they're 20 capacity and they're obviously counted as double.
I did say that we were going to be scratching our heads with the list this gentleman normally brings, and then we also got some questions in the chat, like what is the Warlord trait on the big mech with the shock attack gun? We don't have that information.
I don't have it. Adam didn't give it to us. Adam. Oh.
But no, it's very important. I mean, because honestly, you're trying to piece this together. Is like, what is this general thinking about when they're putting this list together? Again, because we know that we're very familiar with the pilot and the fact that they're able to, I don't say manifest wins, to create these wins with these unconventional lists.
Mm-hmm. It's actually the pretty sure the Blood Axe is the one with the redeploy too, right? So those 3x10 commandos can be used very aggressively, and then if you don't want them to stay up there, if you don't go first, you can move them back or put them in a more safe place. So they can be hyper aggressive, and if you've seen Mark play, he likes to have the ability to go aggressive when he's ready. So if he wants to go Alpha Strike on you, he can, and he can also threaten it. And then if he doesn't go first because he's Blood Axes, can just never mind.
Yep. So yeah, let us know we need to know the actual stats on a shock attack gun. I actually just tried to look for it real quick, but I don't want to slow the show down. So if anybody in the chat has the stats, let us know why there might be 3 of them in this list.
Yeah, it hits on 4s with 60-inch range, and I know it. I'm pretty sure it's -5, but yeah, I haven't seen it.
But do you still have to roll randomly or something for it?
Yeah, I don't know. Let us know, chat, because we're genuinely curious for 3 of these things in there. Wow. Okay.
Anyway, but I think it's awesome.
It is.
There we go.
The 3 Death Dreads are also great for either just keep them on the table if you want to soak some damage away from the battle wagons, or reserve them so when they come in, they can do their big charge, do mortal wounds.
Oh, they hit hard. I mean, you put all the saws and stuff. I'm willing to bet those are kitted out with every possible option they could possibly have.
Every single claw they can every single saw they can have.
Yeah,
that's a big thing we're waiting for.
That's my guess. So what's winning this thing?
Ooh.
Are Votan going to take it? A lot of Votan here. Is this their time?
Votan, I'm looking at the field.
There's only one Tyranid.
It's true, but what else the Votan normally
one Harlequin.
One Harlequin. Harlequins are starting to fall off, aren't they? People are giving up on them.
2 Tau. I mean, I'm talking, these are low numbers for even a 50-person tournament.
6 Chaos Space Marines, 4 T-Suns, and T-Suns are really rough for Votan.
Yeah, when you say 4,000 Suns, what you mean is 40 Flamers in attendance in between.
40 Flamers and 40 Scarab Occult Terminators in attendance. At least.
1,000 Suns your pick?
You know what? Yeah, 1,000 Suns is my pick.
All right. I'm going to go Chaos Space Marines if you don't make me pick the actual Legion.
If I don't make you pick Creations of Bile?
Yeah. Well, Creations of Bile is solid. But even then, they've been... What has Creations of Bile really taken down?
Well, that's another one that has suffered from the Votan curse of winning, like having a good win percentage, but not getting past that.
It's incredibly strong, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if you're playing in a event or a meta where other assault armies are also prevalent, then the Creations of Bile are like twice as valuable as they were if you're playing against an.
There we go. Tanya, the War Mistress, has helped us out there. It is 60 inches, heavy D6, strengths 2d6, AP -5 d6 damage. So yeah, it's the same profile almost. There's no mortal.
Thank you, Tanya.
But oh my god! So you got to roll a lot of d6s to use this weapon. Which I think that's what you're used to.
Vic in the chat say LVO is going to be awesome. LVO is going to be awesome. We're going to be there.
Yeah, we will.
Are y'all in the chat? Are y'all going to be there? Let us know if you are. Please come by and say hello. We may even do. This is no promises. Logistics are a thing, all right? We might even do a live Thursday show from the event if we can pull it off.
If we can pull it off.
That will be amazing. It'd be cool to see the chat. We're going to make it. Look, if we do this, we're going to have the chat talking in the
of course.
In the stream as well. In front of a live studio audience is going to be a blast. So if y'all are coming, let us know. We got to make some time to hang out and say what's up.
Yeah, for sure. We will be there. So say hi to us if you're there, and say hi to us in chat if you're not.
Anyway, back where I was saying, it was the Creations of Bile, is that in a melee, very heavy environment, they are even more awesome because they get to do their trick. In a shooting heavy environment, no one cares, because who cares if you get to fight on death? You're all the way on the other side of the table.
Well, that's the thing. That's why Bile. That's why, at least in my opinion, why Bile hasn't made that leap to the 5-0, 6-0 all the time is because they have really bad matchups at the heavy shooting armies. Because if you don't need to trade into them, it's rough.
Yeah,
it's Bile really, really gets their value when you have to trade into them in order to compete with them. Like if you have to put close combat in them, you don't have enough guns to kill all of them. If you have enough guns to kill all of them and stay away from them, then half of what Bile doesn't do anything.
But maybe this is their time. So maybe
it is.
Creations of Bile is going to bring it down. Good luck to everybody in attendance over the course of this weekend. And I'm glad we got to talk about that. I'm glad tournaments are picking back up. It's going to be, a really interesting time as we lead into the next couple of weeks getting to the LVO. As I mentioned earlier in the show, is the fact that there is not only normal tournaments out there that are just happening. We're going to cover the stuff, but some of these are folks specifically trying to get points for their factions, their overall rankings, placing in certain regions. There's all kind of things to compete for that players are going to be participating in tournaments leading up to this, or even just practice. There's going to even be some players out there that may try to conceal what they're actually bringing to the LVO, but want to still move models around, so they're playing something different. We'll see if we can spot that. You don't want to miss these shows.
Nobody does that
over the next couple of weeks. Now we're to a section of the show that we call the Fuego Rapido, where we give ourselves 2 minutes to run down a series of topics. Oftentimes we've never seen these topics before. Sometimes they have very, very little to do with Warhammer 40,000, if anything at all. But once those 2 minutes are over, the topic stops. Sometimes it stops, when we have them already figured out or whatever. Move on.
Solve it. Yeah.
Yep. We invite production onto the show. Richard.
Hello.
Temporary Sticky.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello. Hey, do you guys want to do 1 minute since there's only 2 of you? Does that make sense?
Let's do 1 minute.
Yeah.
Let's live dangerously.
Yeah.
Woo. I also like to live dangerously.
Oh, nice. All right, here we go. What is your favorite 2022 Warhammer memory?
Oh, that's a good one. The years still kind of blend together. I actually got to play. I will say the thing that I think about the most often is I was getting to play against a friend on the FDN podcast, Red Powell, and we decided to play a smaller point game. He's playing his Tanith. They look amazing. I'm playing Blood Angels, and we're playing, I think, like a 1,200 point game or whatever. And then he reminds me that the board is smaller. So I just apologized and then made a bunch of 9-inch charges. It was great. I had a great time. I had an amazing time.
I like it. That makes sense.
10 seconds, Dustin.
The Canhammer team tournament. It's always one of my best memories of every year. And this last year was no exception. I love that tournament. Team tournaments are the best, and the Canhammer runs a great one. So,
Fuego. Man,
nailed it. Solved.
1 minute's fast, eh? Ooh.
It's fast.
I know. I'd stalled.
What is your 2022 Warhammer model of the year?
This is it. You're looking at it. Actually,
Yeah,
I called. I voted for. Yes, this thing's amazing.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right.
I literally, actually, speaking of Canhammer, with my winnings from how well we did, I picked up an avatar of Kane.
Yeah, Eldari Avatar is what we're looking at on screen.
Yeah.
For
sorry for those of you that don't see that.
on
It's
the
the
podcast.
Eldari Avatar of Kane, the new one.
Ah.
And
well deserved.
Well deserved.
Give it the flowers. Put a crown.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, yay! Yeah. Speech. He wants world peace. No,
what's an honorable mention though? What's even close?
Of 2022 was Abaddon? Did Abaddon come out that year?
No, that was like
way
2018
early.
or whatever.
Really?
No.
Who am I thinking of?
Be'lakor.
Be'lakor was
yes,
the year
Be'lakor.
Before, wasn't it?
No, he
That was
was
the year before. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bellacor's modeled the year for the year before.
Okay, well then Avatar has no competition. Like I can't. I can't think of anything else.
There's bound to be like a Necromunda or a Warcraft figure.
Oh,
that
I
I'm
guess
sure
that's
is amazing.
but
But
it's this Warhammer model. So.
Fuego. Man,
We
they're
solved
fast.
it a long
They're
time
so
ago anyway.
fast. They're so fast.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your 2023 Warhammer resolution?
That's weird. Because I know I'm going to paint models.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'll do it right now. I'm gonna rebase all my Catachin, which, by the way, all my Astra Militarum. I don't care. Look, I understand they're going to be Catachin, but I want a more recognizable jungle motif on their bases, and I have an idea of how to make them in a sustainable way, or like a repeatable way.
Wow. Okay. I think for me, it's because my GSC are all painted, and I have no desire to redo 200 guys right now. But there are some old Tyranid models and monsters that I haven't finished that I want to go back and finish at some point. That I probably won't use for years, but I just like the models, so I definitely want to finish those.
Get your Red Death in there.
It's funny. I do actually have the Red Terror, and I just bought him not too long ago. I found him, and then he's not a thing anymore.
No,
he's
dead. He's gone.
No, he's not dead.
Well,
He's not dead. He can't.
He's no
he can't
longer
die.
with us.
He ate
cranked
something.
out some more biomass.
He just ate some bile, and now he's in the toilet. He's gonna be sick. He'll be fine.
What event are you most looking forward to in 2023?
Oh, like so many. Adepticon.
I mean, right now it's LVO because that's the next one, and then it'll be Stutter Snarling, and then it'll be Barry Bash, and then it'll be Canhammer. Like, there's this actually, and this is speaking from like a Canadian perspective. Canada events have taken off lately, and it is so exciting for us. There's so many to go to. I'm helping to run like 4 of them. I'm going to be competing as many as I can before I can't for a while, and it's just it's going to be exciting.
I mean, also mention it, Warhammer Fest. Warhammer Fest is going to be massive.
That would be great too.
Cannot wait for that. Very much looking forward to that. If there's another narrative event, going to want to be hitting that up again. There's so many good things. We are living in a great time for events.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited for these. Obviously, LVO, I'm stoked for, and Stutter Snarling,
Warhammer Fest. I'm gonna try to be there.
Yeah.
What order would you give to improve events and competitive scene in 2023?
Like, fix bayonets!
That one may change the
hard dice down.
Yeah.
Or you get the sticks.
It's hard to get a single one.
It's actually. I mean, I'm not fading the question, whatever. It's really hard for me to even think of something that would improve because again, the organizers out there are doing an amazing job
Yeah.
creating fun times for players, and each one of these organizers has like an agenda, even if it is just us everybody have a good time and showcase the hobby in some way. So, I mean, it's tough for me to say that. If I was going to say that though, I mean, I guess maybe make
I-
sure keep focus on time. Make sure everyone has equitable time to play a
Mhm.
game, and all tables have the same rules, playing
Mhm.
consistently.
Fire on my position, so get everybody in there. That's what we want. We want the competitive scene to just keep growing.
There you go.
All right.
Move.
Move. Yes, there it is. Move. Solved.
What new models are you most excited to see or you want to see in 2023?
Why is Azrael on there? I feel like
Because
that's
it's Adam.
This is
clearly.
Oh, Adam made this.
Put the show together
Well, maybe.
before.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was Adam.
No, it's
Huh.
not Adam. Maybe that's just
No.
a homage to Adam.
Look, I appreciate the tip of the hat
Yeah.
to Adam, Mr. Camilleri.
I have
This ain't
two-
my choice though.
I have two Azraels. One of them is really well painted too. The other one was not. Most excited to see. Oh,
Are you
Oh,
that
no,
you want to see?
I've
Look, my
already
answer
seen
is
that.
forever and always going to be, something Blood Angel related. So
of course it
There's
is.
one. There's
Yeah.
one answer here, guys. I don't know. You keep
No, there's
dodging.
not. No,
Yeah,
no,
there's one answer.
No. Okay, well, you're not going to believe my answer, so you go ahead.
Angry Ron, baby.
There we
That's
go.
what I was thinking originally, but I've already seen him now.
Yeah, but you haven't touched him. You haven't felt his power.
It
in
is a
your
different
hand.
experience.
It doesn't say what are you most excited to
I don't even
touch.
care if we ran
It
out of
really
time. We're
shouldn't,
going
because
long on
that's too
this.
strong. I don't know if I want to touch Angron because he's
I
going to
love
bite
it.
me.
Tanya
I
said Bionic Yarrick.
Oh,
Bionic Yarrick. Oh, okay, yeah.
on Angron's belt, you mean? Is that what she means? No. Yeah. And that's it. We're done. Jeez.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, well, there we go. Look,
Crushed it.
Hey, Dustin. Been a pleasure hanging out with you. Richard, thanks
As
a lot
always.
for putting it together behind the scene. Adam Camilleri produced the show, written the show, give us something to talk about, highlight these events.
GSC Little. Thank you, Rob. Okay,
if
here we go.
if you have some tournaments coming that you're going to and you don't think we're going to cover, don't think we know about it, hit us up on social media. You can hit me on Twitter at Warmaster_TPM, Fights with Dice on Instagram. Dustin, how can folks find you?
They can find me on Stutter Scrub. Search anywhere, YouTube, Twitch, or where you listen to podcasts. You can listen to our podcast there. Watch us stream some live games. They'll be starting again Monday and Tuesday this coming week. We're going to have all kinds of content for you. And of course, the Stutter Snotling is coming in just over a month. So sign up. If you still have tickets left available for now. It's going to be a great event. Always was. I want to see you there.
One of the
I will be
things,
there.
though, if you do send us some tournaments that you're going to be participating in or want us to cover, get your folks to make sure the factions get listed in there. That makes it so much easier. It gives us some actual meat of what we can produce and bring the cool and interesting show to analyze for everybody out there. Again, we're just talking about the meta. Y'all are actually being the meta. Cool to see that it picking up again. Looking forward to see how this IDC season closes out. Look forward to the next one. We're going to be here each and every week bringing you this information, hanging out with y'all. Don't forget to leave us those 5-star reviews. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We will see y'all next week.
See ya.